Your Honor, maybe we stop it. Then they can do they can do it through reading the deposition, Your Honor. They don't need to do that. I asked them to take it off the screen. Could you take it off the screen, please?
Okay. That's fine.
Thank you.
I have no objection.
Can we
to that.
please start it over?
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as cue. Would you listen to this, please? This is punching. It's one of the ones that says punching. Let's skip on. This is the Where's the desk?
You just kept going. Tried to close the door 3 times. Please, just don't, and then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess I stretched your toes. I didn't mean to do that. I bent down. And you kicked the door. Stay put the door, get more open. So
I did not do that. But I did not mean to do that.
I was bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to I did not kick at the door or push the door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear. But I mean, that did not. It was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes.
Okay. So you told him in that excerpt that you hit him with the door but did not intend to hit him, correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I
Okay.
don't. When you play it for me, it's hard for me to remember every single.
And that's a recording marked as exhibit the punching.
Q. That we
Q.
just played.
Q. Would you continue to listen to exhibit Q?
Are these from the same day?
I reacted, but this whole the door thing. I remember. I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay. Let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said, like, what the fuck? Whatever. Because I just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up. And then you felt the clock.
I remember hitting it as a response to the door thing.
That's exactly what I just told us.
And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor.
You didn't need to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember. I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean.
The door? No, God, no.
But punching me in the jaw.
I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
So on the tape, you tell Johnny Depp that you did mean to hit him.
And it also misrepresents that what actually happened, which is him trying to get into a room I'm trying to keep him out of. And then he runs the door over my toes, trying to get into the room. I tried to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched, it always referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever. And whether you discussed it with him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into what the definition of those words mean to him. I never even addressed it. He would, if he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't it true?
You're smiling as that audio recording is being played in your deposition, aren't you, Ms. Heard?
Not smiling because of the audio. I'm smiling because of what's happening around me.
You even roll your eyes at one point, don't you?
I was sitting opposite a whole table full of lawyers who were snickering, laughing, and rolling their eyes at me while I was talking.
Is there something amusing about kicking a door into your husband's head?
No, I was rolling my eyes and commenting on what I was experiencing at that time in recounting the story.
Is there something amusing to you about punching your husband in the jaw?
That is not what I was smiling about, and no, I do not think it's amusing.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that all you want to do is move on. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your exact words were, quote, "I just want him to leave me alone. I want to move on with my life, and he won't let me." Do you remember that?
Yes, that is correct.
But that's not true, is it, Ms. Heard?
It is very true.
You just haven't been able to move on with your life, have you? From Mr. Depp.
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
In fact, on October 11th, 2018, you actually commenced an arbitration action against Mr. Depp for defamation, didn't you?
I don't recall that, no.
Your Honor, may I approach? May we approach? Please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 219. And Ms. Heard, if you could please read to yourself the first page of Exhibit 219.
All right.
And if you can also read to yourself the second page of Exhibit 219.
Yes.
And if you can scroll down, Tom. Again, Ms. Heard, just to look at that page. And then scroll down to the next page, please. And the next page. Does that refresh your recollection, Ms. Hurd, that you did, in fact, in October of 2018, 2 months before you published the op-ed in this case, that's the subject of this case, you initiated an arbitration against Mr. Depp for defamation?
It's not my understanding I initiated an arbitration. It's my understanding that our lawyers sent a letter to his lawyers after he called me a liar again, effectively, in an interview.
And that's 2 months before your op-ed that was published in December of 2018, right?
That is correct.
And that's 6 months before Mr. Depp filed this case against you, correct?
That's correct.
So you fired the first shot, not Mr. Depp.
I disagree. We sent a letter.
Thank you. Ms. Hurd, isn't it true that you once filled out a customs form falsely so that you could get...
May we approach?
Okay. Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday that when you left the courthouse after obtaining the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, you walked out to, quote, a sea of paparazzi and cameras, right?
That's correct.
You testified that you were surprised to see this sea of cameras
That's correct.
because it was quiet when you went into the courthouse that morning.
And the divorce had remained under the radar up to that point.
You testified that no one knew about your divorce, so you thought it was going to stay that way, right?
No, I always figured it would come out. I just was trying to buy time.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Heard?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time. When
You knew they
filed.
were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Your
I mean, I
publicist-
assume since it's a public building that there is that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility. But I was shocked.
Your publicist, Jody Gottlieb, was there at the courthouse with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So you anticipated that you might need your publicist?
I thought the filing might make, I was told the filing was public, that it would be impossible. There's no way for you to do a private filing. And then the second that I filed for the TRO, it would be public news. I didn't expect all these photographers and cameras to show up at the courthouse in real time, but they did.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280, which is a clip from your divorce deposition, and you have at page, if I can alert you, you have the transcript there, page 74, lines 22.
You said
through
874?
74,
74.
line 22, through 75, line 13.
I'm sorry, just 72 lines.
74, line 22, through 75, line 13.
Your Honor, may we approach?
If we could please play and display to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280.
Executive is responsible.
Ms. Heard, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, "I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him"?
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry, and I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't
TMZ
know how
owns
to do
the
that.
copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they
owns.
pay you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. It is not, that's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not
and
when you
years.
were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way.
Right.
What extortion?
Tassa Van Reed's your ex-wife, right?
That's right. She's my ex-partner.
She's the one that you told this jury Mr. Depp was jealous of, right?
Yeah, well, that was 2013 fights around March, yes.
You testified that he tried to burn one of her paintings, right?
That's correct.
You testified he tried to burn one of your favorite paintings that she did, right?
I don't know if it was one of my favorites.
You committed domestic violence against Miss Van Reed during your relationship, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You assaulted her at a Seattle airport in 2009, didn't you?
No, I did not.
And people saw that.
That's not true.
And it was covered in the press. Isn't that true?
It was planted in the press by Johnny's team 2 days after I got the TRO. Not
Can you
coincidentally.
please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1279?
Your Honor, may we approach?
If you could please have that article displayed for the witness. This is an article from 2 years ago, correct, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this
May of
was.
2020.
That's not when it came out, no. This story started getting planted after I got a TRO, after I got a restraining order against Johnny.
The headline says, Amber Heard
Objection,
allegedly
Your Honor.
struck.
Objection, Your Honor. I think Your Honor ruled she can't say that.
If you want to approach again.
The title reads, Amber Heard allegedly grabbed, struck her ex-girlfriend at the airport, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's not true.
May we approach?
Okay.
So the article, the title is Amber Heard allegedly struck her
Objection, Your Honor.
ex-girlfriend.
She's already,
Oh, overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you. If I may start over. Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend Tassa Van Ree at the airport in 2009. Did I read that right?
Yes, this is another example of the smear campaign.
So Mr. Depp is not the only domestic partner you've assaulted, is he, Ms. Heard?
I've never assaulted Mr. Depp or anyone else that I've been romantically linked to, ever.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination. I'm sorry, redirect.
Ms. Heard, did Ms. Van Ray come out after that article came in and make a public statement it was false?
Of course she did.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor, I should at least be.
Overruled.
Thank you.
Of course she did.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the TMZ alerted. Explain to the jury what you meant by the TMZ was alerted.
So when you make these kind of filings, meaning divorce, marriage, things like that, they are